Welcome back to Pearls in the Valley, the podcast where we remind ourselves that pearls are born in pressure and pain, and so are we. Which is great news because if your year was anything like mine, well, you might have just formed a whole necklace. Today is a special episode, our Christmas episode. And listen, we're not doing the perfect snow globe Hallmark movie version of Christmas. No, we're talking about that first Christmas. The wild one, the loud one, the stressful one where hope didn't politely tap on the door, it broke in. So grab your coffee, your cocoa, or that peppermint mocha that technically counts as dessert. Let's talk about Christmas, the birth of Jesus, and how the greatest hope the world has ever known came straight into the valley. Have you ever tried to create the perfect Christmas moment? Let me tell you, I've tried. So many of us have had this big plan to make the perfect Christmas. The family's gathered, the lights soft, Christmas music playing. You want to start reading the Christmas story like a wise old narrator. Instead, halfway through, the dog eats an ornament. The smoke alarm went off because someone burnt the cinnamon rolls. And one of the cousin's kids decided that the nativity scene needed a T-Rex and eats all the wise men. And you know what? I think that's actually more accurate to how our Christmas feels most of the time. I bet that's how Mary and Joseph might have felt, because Jesus didn't arrive into a calm, silent night. He arrived into a world that looked a whole lot like ours, chaotic, stressful, imperfect, and messy. And that's why I love this story. God could have shown up anywhere, and he chose right in the middle of the mess, right in the valley. Since I'm a filmmaker, let's set the scene like it's a movie trailer. Fade in, dramatic music, a donkey slowly walks across the screen. Rome has declared a census, which is basically the ancient version of the DMV. Overcrowded, inconvenient, and guaranteed to ruin your day. Mary and Joseph showed up in Bethlehem exhausted from traveling. They're looking for a room, and the innkeepers are like every stressed out relative at Thanksgiving. We have nothing, but you can try the garage. So there they are, in a stable. Animals everywhere, hay everywhere, smells that could make you question your calling in life. And then it happens. The king of the universe enters this world in a feeding trough. No palace, no royal welcome, in a very stinky stable. Animals all around, just like our everyday lives. Just a little baby in a manger. And the first people to hear about the announcement, they weren't kings, not politicians, not religious elites. No, God sends angels to shepherds. Basically, the everyday guys doing the midnight shift at the Waffle House. God tells the average group of people just like you and I. I mean, imagine those shepherds' discussion. Dude, did you just see the sky open? Did you hear what that angel just said? But here, the sky explodes with light. Angels everywhere, singing, praising, rejoicing. Heaven is celebrating like hope finally hit the earth. And it did, because that baby changed everything. Hope wasn't far away anymore. Hope wasn't a theory or a symbol. Hope was a person. Hope had a heartbeat. Hope had a name. His name was Jesus, the Word made flesh, the light in our darkness, the Savior born not just to save us, but to find us. He came to seek and save the lost. It didn't say that he came to seek the wealthy, the politicians, the athletes. No, the lost. Guess what? That's you and I. That's everyone. And maybe you're listening today from your own valley. Maybe this year was heavy. Maybe your Christmas doesn't look picture perfect. Maybe you've been carrying stress or grief or fear or questions you've been begging God to answer. Let me tell you something. Jesus didn't avoid the valley. He entered it. He was born in it on purpose. He was born into pressure, into discomfort, into pain, because that's where we are. And he came to bring hope right in the middle of it. So remember this. Pearls form because something is irritating it. Something painful gets trapped inside a shell, but over time, it's transformed into beauty. Christmas is God saying, I see your pain. I see your pressure, and I'm stepping into it. Jesus is the pearl. Jesus is the hope. Jesus is the light in your valley. And this Christmas, I'd love to hear your stories, your moments where God showed up in your valley, the times hope broke in when you least expected it. Send me your stories, and we may share them on a future episode. And if you want to partner with the work we're doing, films, stories, documentaries that point people to hope, you can give at redpearlmission.org. Support helps us tell stories like the ones we're working on right now. Check them out on the site. Every gift matters. As you head into Christmas season, Let me remind you of this. If your house is messy, if your plans fall apart, if the dog poops on the floor, congratulations. You're basically reenacting the original Christmas, and God showed up there. He was born there. Merry Christmas, my friends. May hope break into your world like it did in Bethlehem. Thanks for listening to Pearls in the Valley, where pearls are born in pressure and pain, and so are we. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Merry Christmas. May God bless you and your family, and I'll see you in the next episode.